Good morning. Welcome to Church on the Net. We've had some pretty severe storms here, but it's looking pretty nice this morning. So, we're looking at God's promises. And I think we've shared this before, but it is just the best promise. It's the best promise from the Bible. And yes, it has a qualification. And most of us learn this scripture when we're little in Sunday school. If not, it's probably the first one you should learn if you don't know it. But it's John 3:16. And we're going to look at 17 too, but John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son. The promise, the qualification, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Believing in him is more than just words that you say. They're not magic words. It's a change of your heart. It's the way that you appear in your heart. So many times today, I think that we, as a people, we say the words and we think they're magic words, but we never let the change come into our heart. And that's where the real magic, if you want to call it, that's where the real joy and the real transformation happens. See, you can't still seek everything that the world has for you and experience all that Christ has for you, because they're different. It doesn't make sense to the normal world, but it makes sense to the believer. So, what are you running after today? What are you running after today? So many people think that that this is just a quick answer that God gave us. But it also says in 17 that for God did not send his Son to condemn the world, but through his Son it may have life everlasting. I had a pastor that I saw on YouTube video someplace. I've seen it several times, but this is a great analogy. He had this 30-foot rope, big long white rope, huge long white rope, and about 6 inches of it was bright red. He said, this is your life here on earth. This is what you've got, and this determines where the rest of this rope goes, all that white rope. So in your life, where are you determining where you go? How are you living your life in this very short time that we have here on earth to determine where you're going to spend eternity? Are you seeking the things that God would have you seek? And some people think, oh, I can't seek anything worldly. I don't think that that's necessarily the plan that God has for you, because everybody has gifts. Some have gifts of giving and making money. Some have gifts of doing great talents. It's your heart condition and what you do with it. And when you're working with the gifts that God has given you, how do you use those appropriately for him? And what are you doing to make sure that you're living your life for him? Are you seeking him every day? Don't tell me you're seeking him by just praying and not reading the word, because that means like you're not listening to him, you're just talking. So, what are you willing to put into it? What are you willing to do? If you're going to church every day, paying your tithes, and you still aren't feeling the growth, and you're still maybe not feeling like you're in a lull, or feeling like you're in a lull and that things aren't really happening, and the Lord may be blessing, but you don't feel it in your heart, then you probably need to check your heart attitude and make sure that it's right. If you're seeking after everything that you think is right in this world and things aren't going right, then the Lord's probably not a part of it. Or it could be that you're just going through a really tough time and you need to find people to lean on. Maybe God's teaching you how to lean, or that leaning principle. The choice is really yours. You live your life and you decide how you're going to live it. He's at work always around us, all around us. That doesn't change. It's whether we join in with that work or not. So God so loved the world that he gave his only Son for you. I don't care what you've done, where you've been. But in order to receive that, you have to accept him in your heart. You have to believe it. Do you know Jesus today? If you don't, then we need to talk. And I want you to email me or message me. And let's talk about it. It's not a scary thing. It's a good thing. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget our fundraiser. We are only about a third of it. We still have like 2,500 to go, a little over a third. But we're gonna just keep going until we get it. So I pray that God blesses you today. Don't forget us. And have a great Sunday. Don't forget, this week also we're doing the promises again in the devotional time. God bless.